on the books for next year is Steph, Kevin Durant's player, Draymond, Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, Jacob Evans, Damian Jones, and Alfonso McKinney. Between those guys, it's 120 mil. So they're already over the soft tax, which isn't good.
What is Draymond's money that you were saying in there?
Draymond's only getting 18 and a half, which is a good contract for a guy that, just adds so much.
He's a restricted free agent?
He's on the books for next season.
Oh, I thought he was a free agent.
No. Next season's his last, but Klay Thompson, they're gonna have to sign him to the max. Which I guess if they sign him to the max, he's just gonna be making the money that KD was making if KD didn't take that player. So Sean Livingston, he has $7 million next year. It's not fully guaranteed. It really could be. I don't know what they would be thinking, but depending on how much guaranteed, it might not be the worst idea in the world to cut him and maybe move some space to, because they'll definitely have to re-sign Kevin Looney, who's actually going to be a free agent. I didn't realize that. They probably won't re-sign Bogut. Well, they might re-sign Bogut. They're not going to be able to re-sign Boogie. It'll be interesting. We'll have to see. They're just going to rely on those 3-point shooters.
Yeah. They got a lot of work to do in that offseason, that's for sure. And it all comes down to what is KD going to do? Is Klay going to be healthy enough? There's a lot of ifs. Let's talk about Kawhi Leonard. What's he going to do next year? Did Toronto give him enough incentive to stay?
Okay, real quick, did you think it was fair for Doris Burke to ask that question?
About what?
About where are you going next year?
I don't remember hearing that question. I remember her asking Kyle Lowry about DeRozan. I liked her asking about the Grizzlies guys, Marc Gasol, because that one's not as I don't know, they're all older and they're all kind of doing their own thing. But yeah, I thought the DeRozan question was weird. I don't remember her asking that.
She basically said to Kawhi, she said, there's a bunch of people in Jurassic Park and in Canada that want you back. Does this affect how you deal with those? And he says, I'm just going to celebrate this with my team. It's like, come on, he's not going to. How funny would it have been if Kawhi was like, oh yeah, I'm going to LA. It just ruined everything. It was up there, just oh yeah, now that you mention it, I am going to go to LA. No, I think it'll be an interesting thing because the Raptors really, they could just run it back. If you're Kawhi, don't you think to yourself, let's defend it?
I would.
If they defend the chip. Also, I think if he stays with the Raptors, I know he says he doesn't care about being the main option, but if he stays with the Raptors, that's probably his best shot at getting MVP. Next year.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if he'll win it because it's so hard to go with a regular season award against Giannis and James Harden, players whose just regular season stats are just insane and the usage is just more. But
the thing that will help Kawhi a bunch, though, is the fact that he just came off this insane playoff performance. So if he's just D'ing up people and putting up 28 a night or whatever, people are going to say, well, he does it in the playoffs, and it's going to sway his votes.
How is Kawhi going to win the MVP when Zion's going to win the Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, MVP, Sixth Man of the Year, and DPOY?
It's literally impossible for him to win the Most Improved.
He would be coming from 0 to whatever he gets. So he should be Most Improved. I think Zion's already got it locked for the next 18 years.
Look at this. Look at this. The contract situation for the Raptors. Kyle Lowry's on the books. Marc Gasol and Kawhi Leonard both have player options. Serge Ibaka's on the books. So is Norman Powell, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam. This is a team where you basically have that core. Danny Green is the only one that is leaving. They can use bird rights to sign Danny Green, and I mean that's a core.
Yeah, I think they have the core. I really do believe the core, but I do believe the East is getting a lot better. I know Chris Middleton's a free agent this year, I think. So we'll see what the Bucks do, who they can acquire, and who they'll keep. Then we got Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler from the Sixers. They're free agents. We know the Nets are already making moves. The Celtics, what are they going to do?
You know what? I really believe
there's a lot of talent in the East.
If the Nets get Kyrie Irving, I'm going to say, oh man, that sucks. They were going to be a good team.
They're going to lose D'Angelo Russell. I don't know what they're going to do.
D'Angelo Russell and what's his name can't exist. And technically, Chris Middleton has a player option. He's not going to take it because he's getting paid $13 million. But I mean, he technically could take it.
I don't think he'll take it. He'll get paid a little more. He is a Milwaukee guy, though. He's been there his whole career. I just don't see him taking that. He's worth a lot more than that.
For Milwaukee.
Huh?
He could take a pay cut for Milwaukee.
I could see him. He hasn't really gotten a big paycheck, so I don't think he will take the.
Yeah. I think he's gonna. I mean, Milwaukee. I mean, they're only paying 107, so they could max him.
He's not gonna get a max, but he's gonna be up there.
Someone will pay Chris Middleton a max. He was an All-Star last year.
He's not a max contract guy, but
I don't think he is. But someone will pay it. Is what I'm saying.
But my whole point was the East is only going to get better, and then we're going to see Victor Oladipo come back. He'll be healthy. Pacers, We'll see how good they can be. They were a little disappointing this year because of the injuries. I'm trying to think of like young teams potentially. We'll see where Kemba goes.
I mean,
the Magic are young, but they're not really going to be very good until they get more talent.
The Bulls might get Patrick Beverley.
Yeah, we got to look out for the Bulls and Lowry Markkanen.
No, you know what? If I'm Kyle Lowry, what I'm saying to everybody is, anybody saying, well, hey, the East is getting better, I'm saying bring it. We got the best player in the East. Bring it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really interesting offseason. Very interesting offseason. NBA draft's is next week, next Thursday.
It'll be interesting. Oh, which are we going to talk about the off? Are we talking about the off season, or should I?
We'll save it for another episode.
Yeah. Okay.
We got a lot of time. We got a lot of time to talk about the off season. What is it? July 1st? July 1st-ish?
When? What?
July 1st-ish? Is that when the free agency stuff starts?
Yeah, I believe it does start then. Well, no. Didn't they change it this year? They moved it back. So I think they moved it back a week or something like that.
I think they just moved it like a 24-hour period or something.
Oh yeah, it's June 30th at 8 p.m. I think that's what it was.
Oh yeah, that might be it. That sounds kind of right.
Okay, whatever.
So yeah, I mean, we got a lot of off season. We got a lot of questions. Kawhi, Toronto.
A week from today is the draft.
Yeah, I'm pumped for the draft. The thing I was most disappointed about in the NBA Finals, the lack of Riley Curry airtime. That was probably my most concern. She's my favorite of every NBA Finals. She steals the show, and I love it. It's always something great to see on Twitter the next day or that night of.
She has won finals. She was the star of one finals.
It's just a shame. She was a star. She was shining so bright. Now we got I guess Kyle Lowry's kids were the stars.
I think they'll be all right.
But yeah, you were saying it earlier. If you got a kid, you're going to be a great player. We saw Nick Nurse and Fred VanVleet did with their newborns. They've become NBA champions. And then we saw the two little kids for Kyle Lowry. They willed them on to victory. So I guess Kawhi's going to have to get a kid going here soon. I don't know how robot children work.
I think if Kawhi has a kid, that'll make him too powerful.
I don't know how robot children work, but we'll figure that out.
Man, it's gonna be real interesting to see. So Kawhi Leonard, regardless of what he does, he's not opting in. He's not gonna opt in. What I think the Raptors would want to do, and I don't know how they do this, they would want Marc Gasol to opt out and take a smaller deal and use that money for Kawhi Leonard. The only way I see that potentially happening is if they talk to Mark and like, look, you have a chance to be a 2-time Finals champ like your brother. Did Powell win? Powell only won 2, right?
Did he win 2 with the Lakers? I feel like he only won 1 with the Lakers.
No, he won 2 because he was part of that almost 3P team. The 07, 08, and then no. 08, 09, and then the Lakers lost in 10.
I can't remember. I thought he was only a 1-time champ.
He has at least 2.
Mm-hmm. Maybe then. What was the question? What were you asking before then?
Well, I was just gonna say because Kawhi Leonard is gonna opt out. He's scheduled to make $21 million next year. He can make way more than that. He's opting out. Marc Gasol is scheduled to make $25 million. And he has a player option. So I'm wondering if the Raptors can talk him out of it and say, hey, look, you have a chance to win another one, to win back-to-backs. Opt out, take a lower deal, and we'll give that money to Kawhi.
All they're doing is keeping the same core, and then you just add Kawhi with the Supermax. So, I mean, I don't think
they can't Supermax Kawhi.
Oh, well, the max, whatever his max deal.
Yeah, the max, the 35%. Or, no, it's a 30% because he's neither in his 11th year nor is he 30. So, the 30%.
So, yeah, he'll get a max, and I feel like you're just over the cap, and you got to pay the taxes and whatever. I don't think they necessarily have to add any talent.
They don't care.
Jeremy Lin's on an expiring deal. I think he's making too much money. But, yeah. I think OG is going to get healthy. Was he hurt all playoffs? Was that why he didn't play?
Supposedly. I don't know how much OG means to them.
He's a good defensive player. He's a good guy to have there.
Yeah.
He's a good regular season guy. He's important in the regular season for sure.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I don't think the issue is them re-signing players really at this point. But the only guy they have to worry about is Kawhi. Or they could just be like, we won our ship. We traded for 1 year Kawhi. We did what we did. Blow it up.
Mm-hmm.
We're done. We're good. We'll go into paradise. Everyone retire. If you guys want to retire now, we're good with
run it back.
I mean, you would try to run it back. You got to get Kawhi. It's just I don't see them running it back with the East being so difficult next year. At least it's going to be top heavy.
That's true. I could see them. I could really see them. The only thing that I could think might mess it up is what the Bucks do. I think they beat the. I guess, yeah, it really depends. Bucks and 76ers could throw a wrench in that.
I would like to see what the Nets do. I want to see how.
I just feel.
I want to see if KD's going to be healthy enough to make a playoff run, or if he'll be able to make back next year at all.
Yeah, I don't think he plays at all next year.
I want to see where Anthony Davis goes. There's so many more questions before we can make this. Before we can figure this out, we got to figure out where Chris Paul's going. We know Chris Paul's going to be the MVP next year. He was so important to the Rockets this year. So
who trades for Chris Paul? I don't get it. Who trades for him?
I can see a team taking his contract for picks, but that's kind of the only thing I can see.
For picks, but it's like, hey Raptors, can we have your number 32 pick and the 28 pick?
No. Like
right.
The Rockets would have to unload Chris Paul with their own picks, like future picks, to a team with cap space, and that's kind of all
I'm saying. It's like,
that's all they can do.
What are their future picks going to be?
It's going to be like a Carmelo Anthony deal that he got, the Carmelo Anthony trade that the Hawks did last year.
Yeah, well, but they got it wasn't OKC's. It was the other pick OKC had, which was like a lottery pick.
Yeah, they got some good picks out of it, and it's like a future pick.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. They're going to get something like that. That's what they're going to try and do.
Yeah, I don't think the what's it called? I don't think the Rockets have the. They're going to have to do something crazy. They're going to have to give up. You know what I could see them doing?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to entice someone by having Clint Capella in the trade.
Yeah, Clint Capella, multiple firsts. But, I mean, it also comes down to if they actually believe they can win a championship with that team. how much do you invest in that team? Or do you just try and get it done with Chris Paul, who I don't